Blogging. That's our topic for this week. If you've ever kept a diary or a journal, if you've ever routinely written something to Facebook or Twitter, or if you've ever had your own video series on YouTube, blogging is something you're familiar with. Now, some people, they use blogging as a way to vent or a way to avoid gossiping. It's cathartic for them. They just want to get their feelings down on paper. They want to write out how they think about different topics. They really don't care for anybody to read it. That's not their purpose. But as this is a media class, we always have to think about who our audience is. And so for your assignment for this class, I want you to think about a specific topic. Think about your mission. What is the message you're trying to convey, and who is your audience? So for this class, I want you to have a specific audience and a specific purpose behind your blog. You can have your own if you want to keep on your own, again, just for cathartic purposes, that's perfectly fine. But you do have a specific purpose for this one, okay? In the past, I've had students who have blogged about different recipes that they liked. She was a foodie and really enjoyed cooking. So she talked about different recipes, shared different recipes, included photos of the food that she made. I've had students who have done movie reviews, and they always included a link to a trailer off of YouTube. That was always handy. I've had people blog about their faith. I've had people blog about sports. They kept different types of blogs. So those are some of the topics you can think about. But for this week, the topic is blogging. Again, this is one more way to get you writing, to get you practicing putting your thoughts on paper. No specific format. Doesn't have to be in the iterative pyramid. Doesn't have to be done as a screenplay. It's however you want to write it. I do still want good grammar, good spelling, good punctuation. Okay? For this week, go to the Assignments tab, and go to Blackboard, and under the Assignments tab, go to the Blog Launch assignment, and go to the Blog assignment, and get started on those. Your launch and your first blog are due Sunday, March 13th. Also remember your profile piece is due this Sunday, March 6th by midnight. If you haven't started on it, something to think about. The interview assignment you did, the very first assignment of the semester, you could use that for your profile, but you still need to talk to 2 more people, get some support for the person you're talking about. I want to submit these to the Mule Skinner for publication, so please give me your best effort on them. If you don't want it published, if you've talked to your subject and they don't want to have their name out there, fine. Under your name on your assignments, and many of you are forgetting to put your name on your assignment, under your name on the assignment, type something that says, do not want to publish, okay? And I won't submit that one. But if otherwise, I'm going to submit them, the ones that are done well, I'm going to submit them to the Mule Skinner to try and get you some publications, okay? I'm going to be grading your second attempts on your editing assignments this week. Also remember to go to your discussion board for week 8, halfway through the semester, guys. Your assignment is to sign up with eVisors through the Office of Alumni and Development. Next week's post will be about blogging, okay? And finally, make sure that you go through all the grammar rules that I'm about to give to you and apply those, all right? Rule number 7, missing commas between coordinate adjectives. Adjectives are coordinate if they make sense when you insert and between them or place them in a reverse order. When you have 2 or more coordinate adjectives, you must separate them with commas. Number 1 tip is that coordinate adjectives must be subjective and evaluative. You are analyzing the characteristics of the subject or how the subject is acting. So for example, the frightened, angry citizens protested the new policy. I may think they're frightened and angry, but you may look at the citizens and think they're being petty and childish. Therefore, this is subjective. It's up to interpretation, and it's evaluative. One person may see it differently. Therefore, those adjectives, frightened and angry, are coordinate, and you would put a comma between them. Tip number 2, coordinate adjectives are not factual or objective, meaning whoever analyzes the subject will come to the same conclusion. For example, Julio is a 16-year-old Cuban immigrant. There's no debate here. Julio is 16, and he is from Cuba. So you cannot say he's a 17-year-old American immigrant because he's not. It's not factual. It is factual that he is 16 and Cuban. Therefore, that is not a coordinate adjective, and you will not put a comma between the 2 adjectives. Rule number 8 is missing semicolon or semicolons between items in a series with internal commas. This is the second time you'll use semicolons. People don't understand when to use semicolons. They get confused by this one, so they either just throw them in haphazardly or they don't use them. Semicolons are used to join 2 complete sentences or in this case, to divide items in a series with internal commas. So when commas appear within the items in a series, separate the items in the series with semicolons for clarity. For example, look at the first sentence. The injured include Barney Corrigan and all the information there. That's incorrect. What are the commas setting apart? What are the items in that list? Whereas if you look at the second example, the injured include Barney Corrigan, 31, of 445 Main Street, semicolon, Sheila Okafor, 28, of 33 Elm Street, semicolon, and Shauna Taylor, 35, of 71 Edgewood Avenue, you know that Barney Corrigan, 31, and 445 Main Street are one item in the list. That's all the descriptors for Barney. Sheila Okafor is 28. She's at 333 Elm Street. Those are the items in her part of the list, and so on. And rule number 9, misplaced or dangling modifiers. I see this one all the time because it makes sense to us as we write it, but we need to slow down and look at it. Modifiers are words or phrases that change or clarify the meaning of another word or word in a word group in a sentence. However, in order to clarify that meaning, the modifier must be placed immediately before or directly after the word or words it modifies. A misplaced modifier is one that appears too far from the word or words it modifies. It's in the sentence, but it's misplaced. So, for example, in that first one, having predicted a sunny morning, the downpour surprised the meteorologist. Well, this reads like the downpour predicted a sunny morning. And how is that possible? It's just the ordering. You correct it simply by saying, having predicted a sunny morning, the meteorologist was surprised by the downpour. A dangling modifier appears in a sentence that does not contain the word or words it's supposed to modify. Working in the yard, the sun burned her badly. Well, this sounds like the sun worked in the yard because the person who was burned is not included. So you just change it to say, working in the yard, she became badly sunburned. So there you have rules 7, 8, and 9 for grammar. Keep applying these rules. Keep working them into your structure. Slow down as you write. This should be part of your editing. Rules 1 through 9 are I'm going to be looking at this week for your profile piece. Keep it up. Have a great week.